and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics busted. Yeah, check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bump 20 on the MIC. Jet Eye Night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy be. But it say, live and level, live and level. We on the MIC. Live and level, live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level, live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics busted. Yeah, check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bump 20 on the MIC. Jet Eye Night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy be. But it say, live and level, live and level. We on the MIC. Live and level, live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level, live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. Check 1 2 1 2. What's up? You in here, K-Bomb 20?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're about to get this episode started. This is episode 189. I probably got that mark wrong. But what's good, bro?
Good, man. I'm doing good, man. Happy to be here. I know I was absent the last time you had the podcast. I listened to it a little bit, or you get all the facts wrong, but it's all good. I'm all right, Jordan.
Well, okay, if I got the facts wrong, why you couldn't just bring that up off live? You know, you had to do.
Oh no,
like
man, got to do it where the people can hear you, man. That's all good, though.
Oh man. So anyway, man, welcome to the show. We still trying to get everything worked out. I still don't have my claps and all that stuff worked out yet because we're doing this new format and I haven't figured out how to get all that in here. But once I get that figured out, I would definitely add it back to our format. But right now, we're just going to be talking. Hopefully, D2K and Mr. Norris can jump in. if you're listening or you plan on getting in here, we right by ourselves right now. But when y'all start jumping in, make sure y'all sign off in the live chat and let us know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's on your mind. But we got a lot set up for you guys. We got a few little topics set up. So, but before we get in there, man, what's been good your way, bro?
Man. What's been good, man? Just changing some things up. I got a new position that I'm at the job that I'm transitioning into. So kind of leaving my old position and transferring to another one. So I'm just getting ready for that move. Football season. So I've been doing the fantasy football thing and trying to take my time watching football on Sundays when I can. So that's been legit, man. I'm a little upset though. I was going down. I'm actually planning. I was going down to New Orleans this year to watch the Saints game. But bad news just came up. My boy Drew Brees is going to be hurt. One of my favorite players of all time is going to be hurt, and I will not be able to see him play live. So I'm a little upset about that. But it's still going to be a good trip. We're still going to enjoy ourselves. But I was really, really wanted to see him live. So that's all good.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. I see why I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to change the heading on this because it's wrong on here. But anyway, we'll fix that at a later date. So just bear with that. So you said Drew Brees went down, right?
Yeah, man. I'm injury this past week, man. I need surgery on it. About 6 weeks gonna be out. I'll be down in like early October. I was really hoping to see him. He's my favorite, one of my probably my favorite football player, especially playing now. I've been a big fan of his since he was in Purdue beating my Wolverines. A big fan when he was in San Diego. That was a team in Madden to beat up back when it was Drew Brees, the daily in the backfield back when they had Junior Seau. So I've been following him for a long time now, and I really want to get a chance to see him live. But stuff happens. It is what it is. Wishing the best. Hope he gets healthy.
Okay. Man, yeah, a lot of quarterbacks went down this weekend, man. Ben Roethlisberger went down. I heard even the backup went down, if I'm not mistaken. The Jets quarterback, I know Jedi hurt. His quarterback went down.
Yeah. The starter and the backup for the Jets went down. That was us.
Is that who? It was the starter and the backup for the Jets that went out.
Yeah. So the starter has a mono. I don't know if he still gets mono, but the starter has mono. And then the backup pretty much either dislocated or broke his ankle that Monday night.
So I had them stories backwards. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was the Steelers. I knew Ben went down, but I thought they said the backup went down. But I guess I was hearing
not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I know the Jets did. I know Jedi team. I know he's over there enjoying it, watching the third string quarterback named Hulk play. So yeah, his season's pretty much done.
Okay. No, man.
Jets, that is.
Dude, somebody need to be calling Colin Kaepernick, man. Somebody need to call Kaepernick.
I just got into a discussion today about it, man. I mean, after you sue the NFL for blackmailing you, I don't think you can get a job.
I know it's gonna be far fetched, but hey, if you trying to win. Let's put bygones to the side. I don't either. I ain't saying I believe it's gonna happen. I'm saying,
I mean, he was a decent quarterback when he played, but
he was better than decent. K-Ball, come on now, he was better than decent. He was better than decent, bro. He was. You said decent. He was a good.
All right. He was a starting caliber.
He was elite.
He was a starting caliber quarterback.
He was an elite quarterback.
No,
he wasn't elite to you.
No, he was good. He was a good quarterback.
I would give him elite. I mean, to come out your freshman, to come out your first start and lead them to the Super Bowl, and then come back the following year and lead them outside of the Super Bowl. I think you got to be pretty You got to
No,
be
no.
beyond
But
good.
what happened? See, what happened was teams caught on to that playbook, dared him to run the ball, and when they did, and so actually it's last years or so because it kind of he couldn't stay healthy because he was taking too much punishment, and the people catch on.
Okay.
He caught the word on fire because he was running an offense effectively that wasn't really done in the NFL, and NFL teams weren't ready for it.
Yeah, he kind of birthed what
And
we
he
seeing today.
succeeded. He was, um, yeah, and in a
Kind
sense
of. He kind of
of the word,
did.
yeah. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying
I got you.
since since he the quarterback runs
You
they
keep
do
going in and
run
out. I
that.
don't know if you in a bad location or something, but you keep going robot on me. But you clear. It just every now and again it'll phase out on me. But go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, way to
You
fix
sound
that.
good. Go ahead.
The offenses now kind of do use that. It did kind of morph into something else, so it is a little bit different than what it was, but it was kind of the catalyst to that.
Okay. No, I just saying like I felt like when Hardball left, that's when Kaepernick. I think when the mind left, that's when Kaepernick wasn't as great. I think long as the mind was there and had the system that he can thrive in, Kaepernick was dope. When that left, then Kaepernick lost a part of his strength. So I think I won't say I back off elite, but he was right there. He was
No,
right.
he
He
was
was right. He was smooching it.
he
He was
was
smooching it.
nah, man.
That's me opinion. That's
He
me
was
opinion, though. That's a me opinion. I
yeah,
ain't saying you gotta agree with that.
he started to struggle though. He
He did.
struggled before. And I wouldn't put him in elite because he didn't have an elite arm. He didn't have elite accuracy. He had great speed. He had great
I thought he
footwork.
had an arm. He didn't have accuracy though. I heard accuracy was his issue.
Yeah.
Arm. I thought he had.
Elite arm. No, it
Uh,
wasn't an elite arm.
okay, I thought it was
It
more of
was
accuracy was
good
his
arm.
issue. Cause they say he threw hard.
No, he
Like
had a good arm, but
yeah.
he did.
Okay.
But he Aaron Rodgers
No, I
hard.
mean,
He wasn't
ain't too
Matthew
many people.
Stafford.
Aaron Rodgers. I give you that.
No, I'm talking about as far as his arm strength. That's
Yeah.
not even
Who
accuracy.
just jumped in here?
Yeah.
Is that D2? Somebody
I
just
don't-
jumped in. I heard somebody.
Yeah,
It's D2? Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
can't see on my end. Welcome to the show, D2. He probably still getting things together. But yeah, man, we just here to talk these games. That's 13 minutes in, man. We ain't gonna keep that going. So what else been good? Any movies? Anything before we get into these games? Anything else you been on? Trying to downplay Colin Kaepernick, man.
I'm not
Man,
trying to downplay.
You
I'm trying to
don't
be
walk
honest.
outside. You know where you at. You better. Yeah, you can walk in your neighborhood. They would.
Bro, I'm being
You
honest.
can walk in your neighborhood, but don't you go nowhere else and say that.
I am going to be honest about it. I don't care what cause he stands for. I'm gonna be honest about because that's despite what he's standing for. So that's all that is. I'm a former football player, and so I got to be honest about his talent. Like the thing is, he's better than than a bunch of starters right now in the NFL. So don't get me wrong there. I'm just not. I just wouldn't dare put him into the league status because that's not where he was when he was in his when he's playing.
I'm with you. All right, D2, what's good, bro? Are you there? Is that D2 or that Keith?
D2K.
What's up, D2? Can you hear me? All right, he's still figuring things out on that end.
Yeah.
Would you say something?
No, that was me.
Oh, it was you? Okay. So I guess we can go into the next part of this podcast. What you been gaming on? I guess I'm gonna throw it your way. What you been gaming on, bro?
All right, so let's be out of the way on I from Game Flow fly. I got the Marvel Alliance, so I will.
Oh, you going in and out real bad now. You think it's your
Yep.
location?
Let me try to switch off the Wi-Fi because I'm on the Wi-Fi right now.
Okay.
So let me try to switch off the Wi-Fi into cell makes a
All right.
difference. So give me.
Now you straight. Go ahead. Do what you got to do to get you correct on your side.
All right, you still hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I still doing?
Yeah, you doing the worse than you was.
'Cause
Turn that Wi-Fi
I'll
back
talk a little
on. You
bit.
doing the
You
worst.
let me
Nah, turn it back on, K
know
Buzz. You
from
Nah, bro, that ain't gonna work.
here.
It ain't gonna work. Turn that Wi-Fi back on. You sound worse. Turn that mother back on, man. You sound horrible. You
You know what?
sound
I may have to do
terrifically
it through the.
terrible. Go
I
ahead.
may
What you
have
say?
I may have to do it through the computer.
Okay. Let's set that
Uh,
up. But yeah, you sounding terrifically terrible. Now don't do that. D2, are you there yet, man? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is he there yet? Let me
I
go
mean,
again.
it says he's in the thing, but it doesn't sound like he's having any communication here.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, I see him here. Let me message him. Can you hear me? Let me do it again. Can you hear me, D2K? There you go. All right, I don't know. Keith ain't on. He offline. No, yeah, Keith offline. There he is. Can you hear me? You cannot. Okay, why can't he hear me? Hmm. K-Bomb.
Yeah.
Let me. You go ahead and talk. I'm gonna figure out what's going on with D2 and see if I can get him in here.
Well, I was gonna see if I can switch. I got my phone, my computer up. I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
try to switch. Okay. Are we still on?
Yeah, we still on.
Okay, cool.
It says he's offline.
I'll go ahead and talk from here. Hopefully, I don't cut out too bad from the phone. So, what I've been gaming on, I did get the Marvel game for the Switch, uh, and I did get a chance to test it out. I do got a little review about it so far. So, one thing I do want to get out the way. Um, that game is ugly. Um,
You know what, man? You know, I'm not finna do it, man.
I
I'm
want to
not
go
finna
ahead.
do it, bro.
I'm about to go
I'm
ahead and
not
get that
finna.
out the way,
I'm not doing it tonight, man. I'm not letting you do
bro.
that tonight. Go
That
ahead, dude. You
that
think you
game,
slick, man?
that game is ugly. You know when like in some bathrooms when you look through the shower, you have that glass that kind of distorts the image, so you can't just look into the bathroom or look into the shower. That's how I feel when I'm look like when I'm playing the game. Feel like I'm just
Okay.
looking at it with somebody just pour some blurriness over the screen. It's just it's not sharp at all. I don't know. And it's a lot going on in the screen, and it's a lot of stuff, and it's not appealing as far as the game looks. So that's the first one I want to get out the way. Yeah, that resolution just good lord. And I've been playing it. So let me say I have been playing it only in handheld mode. I have not played it in dock mode at all.
Okay.
Only been handheld, which I believe they said it's like. Did they say it was 540 or something like that? I know they have the variable resolution, so it goes up and down. So
Okay.
yeah, um, the gameplay is okay. I just it gets pretty boring real quick, really quick. Um, just because it's I mean it's a dungeon crawler, so it gets pretty boring quick. It's okay. So I mean, if you like this type of games, you'll like it. If you haven't have a love for Marvel, and you don't really care about the graphics, you'll like the game.
Okay.
Me, it's okay.
So
It's all right.
so so. Oh, I see D2K. Can you hear us, bro? He's still trying to figure it out. So besides the visual aesthetics not pleasing the old K Bomb 20, everything else you thought was cool.
No, I actually just talked about the gameplay. I didn't. I thought the gameplay was kind of boring.
I mean,
Um,
okay, you thought it was boring. Okay, you
it,
thought
it
it
gets
was
it gets
boring.
repetitive quick. Let me say
Oh, I
that.
mean, okay. So how deep into the game are you?
I'm not far at all.
Dang, it
I just
already
oh,
it done ran its
I'm
course. You
about
ain't
two
deep.
hours in, and I'm like, oh.
Well, send that mug my way, man, so we can get a fair shot.
And I think I think what's going on is like, you know what? I don't think I like the original ones that good either. Uh,
Okay.
I think that's what's going on. I'm like, it's like it's RPG ish, but it's not RPG. It's kind
Mm-hmm.
of just has an appearance of RPG, but it's not really. It doesn't really have it doesn't have that big of an impact. Um, um, Leveling up your characters. So I don't know. It's probably more fun with multiple people,
Uh.
but I don't care too much. Yeah, so it's okay. So I played that. I'll have to give it another some more play, but I've been grinding on the new Madden and the new 2K that came out in September. So I've been spending most of my time on.
Okay. So the new Madden, the new 2K. How you like? Well, you kind of told us what you thought about the new Madden already. What about the
Yeah, yeah.
2K?
The jury's still out for that one. Um,
Man, you
they
gotta
made some
stop buying them
changes.
yearly titles, bro. You need to start skipping. You need to skip a year. You need to skip a
Yeah,
year, man.
okay, that's how you game. That's perfectly fine. I have no
No,
issues
you
with
need to
that.
skip a year.
I have no problem with the way you game, and you can go ahead and game that way if that see
Dude,
fit.
skip a year.
I,
Save your.
again, I game with people,
Yeah,
right?
tell
We
them to
game,
stick with the
and
old
I
one.
and I game with and I game with other people, and we join together and we play together. I normally don't play by
You
myself,
can
and
stay
so
with that.
and
Just tell
so
them to keep the
nah,
old
that's
game.
that's not how it works. Like I said, if that's the way you game. Hey, more power to you, bro. Hey, enjoy it. Go back and play it. And you have to understand, it's not because it's the same game. So let's let's get that out the way.
I
Um,
got you.
the changes that they made, I'm not really feeling. That's the problem. As you hate on yearly titles,
I
it's
don't hate on them. I just
the
said
changes that
skip
they
a year.
made, because they made the game. They try to make it for the better. I'm not feeling the changes. And they try to give more variety to your players, and what you could do, and how to make your player, but they really just made it more. Um, they kind of just tailored it to a specific gameplay, and so
Okay.
I it was supposed to be variety, but I see less variety in this year's title than last year's title.
All right. All
So
right.
so the changes they tried to make to give it that aspect to make it a wider gameplay with more different types of people can use different types of builds and stuff like that. But it's even, I said, it's even more closed off this year than it was last year. So that's why I'm like, I'm not really feeling the changes in the game, and a lot of it was broken when it came out. A lot of stuff was broken. But if you know
Mm.
anything with 2K, they always release um, something that's broken. As far as especially when it comes to the servers, that they are the worst sports gaming company when it comes to servers. Their servers are absolute trash. Always have been, and apparently always will be. Don't
Okay,
know why
okay.
they can't get it together, but they always have trash servers.
Man, okay, all right. Anything else? D2K, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, I
yes,
heard
we
you.
can hear you. Okay, so we got D2 in here. We
Sweet.
had to keep working on Keith, but all right. So, anything else that you've been gaming on that you want to share before I run up here
Nah,
and
just
check on my kids?
little bit Overwatch. I'm about to go ahead and try to change to the laptop version
Oh,
of
you finna get the one on Switch? What you say? What'd you say? I may misheard you.
You completely misheard me if you heard me say that that garbage. No, sir. I am not getting a 30 frame per second first person shooter. You can put that in your pocket and keep that.
All right, Black Bun. All right.
At, absolutely not. I
All
will get the
right.
superior version. That's 1080p and 60 frames per second. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, you already got that version. Go ahead and jump on
And
that Switch version.
I will keep that
Switch it up.
version.
No, okay. All right. That's what's up. That's what's
Absolutely.
up. So I don't want to move on. If you got any other game you want to talk about, let me know.
No, that's it, bro.
Okay, D2, what you been gaming on, bro? And welcome to the show.
What's going on? I've been gaming on Gears 5. It's been a journey to try to actually get it to work because apparently Gears is not a fan of Maxwell cards. If you have a Maxwell NVIDIA card, they don't work
I'm gonna step
with
out for a
Gears.
second, but I'm listening.
I played it and I had all the settings turned up on ultra, and the game looked absolutely gorgeous. And maybe I think I started off playing horde mode just to see how the game, just to get a feel for the game. And maybe like 6 waves into it, it crashed. So I said, "Oh boy, I guess my car can't handle this." So I scaled all the settings down to maybe like medium and high in certain areas. Now, no, actually, I went to the NVIDIA, the GeForce Experience control panel, and let that retune the game to the card that I was using to the settings that would be most appropriate for it to work smoothly, and it still crashed. So I'm saying, what's going on here? So I did some research and I found out that Maxwell cards backwards will not work with this. You have to have at least a Pascal card, or probably like a Vega or something like that for if you have an ATI card. Otherwise, it's gonna crash on you. So that prompted me to have to go to Best Buy and get another card. And I was trying to find a card that wasn't too expensive, but powerful enough to do what I needed to do. Because I'm gonna have to buy another computer at some point. Because as much of a monster this computer used to be, it is starting to show its age. It's getting close to the time I have to put it down and move to something else. Uh, so I decided to get a G. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I was going to say, yeah. So I picked up a GTX 1660 Ti, which I'm told works better with my particular CPU than any other GTX card that's out there. It has the least amount of bottleneck with the CPU. So I picked that one up, and in the process, I decided to pick myself up a 4K TV as well. And um, it's got to go back. It's got to go back because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. They lied about it being 120 hertz. It's only 60 hertz. It's got some burn in it. Like this TV's been used before, so this buddy is going back. But just a little bit that I've been able to use with this game so far, and looking at certain games that I had, man, 4K is something else too.
Okay.
4K is something else. I mean, you see games in a way that you've never seen them.
Mm-hmm. Hello? You went out? Okay. Are you still there, K-Ball? Where y'all go? K-Bone, you still there? You got your mic muted if you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I guess D2 kind of dropped out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this working on my computer. So,
Oh, you good? You ain't been bouncing out here, so you straight.
is it an echo or is it? Am I straight?
No, you straight. Hopefully, we get D2K back. Until he get back, I guess I'll tell you what I've been gaming on, and it hasn't been much. I still been on that Astro Chain. Still a good game. Enjoying it. I also got me some of that Horizon Chase. I think that's what it's called. That game on that I bought it as a racing game for the Switch. He was talking about Gears, man, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I want to get it. I really do. But, dude, it's just like, it's so many games right now. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it right now. And I want to. I want to so bad. But I've been playing that Horizon Chase Turbo for the Switch. And I enjoy that game. It's just a jump in, play real quick, and jump out. I also been playing the Zelda game on the Super NES for the online services of the Nintendo Switch. I've been playing that and waiting tomorrow to get Link's Awakening. But for the most part, I've been playing that Astro Chain. And with the Legions and the Kamara, I think that's what you call it. And, man, it's a pretty cool game. You haven't gotten that one yet, right?
That's for the Switch.
That's for the Switch, yes.
Yeah. That's the yeah. That's kind of like
Platinum Games.
Anime one. Anime one.
Yeah, it would look like an anime. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a thing following you the whole time, kind of connected to you.
Yeah, it's a Legion, a Kamara. Yeah, it's chained to you, and
yeah. I've seen it. I know games talking about.
So it's pretty dope, man. I'm enjoying that game. Actually, man, I don't think the game is getting enough attention. I know that you got Control out, you got Gears 5 out, and I'm trying to. Are you back in here, D2?
So,
okay, go ahead and finish what you were saying about Gears, and then I go to our first topic. Go ahead.
Where did I cut off at? Because I don't remember.
You cut off. You was talking about your 4K TV with the burn-in. Then you kind of
went
into
the
experience of the 4K. You said you got a little experience with it, and it was amazing. So kind of go.
Yeah. Gears 4 is unbelievable.
Okay.
Well, Gears 4 sucked. Gears 5 is unbelievable.
5. I'm sorry. 5. My bad.
Yeah. Gears 5. From what I can tell from the campaign, it looks very interesting so far in terms of relationships between Marcus and his son. And it's kind of strange because it seemed like on the beginning, it seemed like it was going to be all about, I don't know what's going on later on. This is just what I've seen at the first couple of stages. It seemed like it was going to be all about the girl, but at least at the beginning, it doesn't seem like it's that much about her. I mean, it's hints that something's wrong with her, but it's more or less about the relationship between Marcus and his son. I don't know what his, I keep forgetting his name is son.
Okay.
But, the graphics are unbelievable on any console that you play it on. I mean, it's cool that I can play against people on the Xbox, the cross-play with the PC version and everything. So that's cool. But, yeah, I'm going to have to take the TV back because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. They lied about it.
What TV is it?
It's a Hisense. I never heard this brand before. I took a chance on it because it was a 4K TV. It had HDR, and it was $400. So I said, I'll take. I flipped a coin. It was another TV from another brand I never heard of before.
Was it TCL?
Yep.
You should have got that.
Yeah,
TCL is the best budget TVs out there, hands down. No ifs or buts about it.
Yeah, but what happened was when I actually went to the store, I actually applied for a Best Buy credit card, and I didn't think I was going to get approved for it because No, I don't do credit cards. But the guy's like, oh, come on, just apply for it. You never know what'll happen. So I applied. I said, what the heck? And I got approved for it. So now that I got approved for the credit card, I'm gonna go get the TV that I want instead of the TV that I.
What you want? What you want, homie?
Well, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out when I get there. But
let me know. I mean, I don't see them all.
Hey, bro, go in with a budget, bro. Let them know.
Hey, I don't see them. I don't see them all.
I mean, I'm not doing no off-brand TV. It's gonna be Samsung, LG, or Sony, or no go. One of them three.
Well, I mean, the LG that OLED, man, K-Bum got is legit. I give it to him. I concede that the brother got a nice little TV sitting up in his house. He got the nerves to have two now. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that. But if you ain't got no kids or anything running around, if it's just you, look, this is Alan said the TLC TV is trash. That's what he said, K-Bum. Anyway,
it is. I beg to differ. It is the best budget TV you can get. It is a budget TV.
He said budget.
It's the best budget TV you can get. There's nobody else that's at that price better. Period.
Vizio is better. K-Bum,
Vizio is not budget anymore, man. Yeah, Vizio is mid range.
Yeah, that's
Vizio is no longer budget.
Don't get him talking about.
And I bought a Vizio. I bought a Vizio. They're 65. They're
It's supposed to be a gaming podcast. We talking about.
Hey, chill out, bro. Let me get this out. I bought that Vizio, the Quantum. I bought the Quantum TV that's comparable to the Samsung Quantum TV, and I took that Vizio back. You had to go back, brother, because they were trying to be high end, and it did not have the quality. I took that TV back when they got me another OLED and called it a day.
Yeah, what I was going to say, D2.
You done?
What I was going to say, what size you looking for? What size?
Well, what I got right now, and I'm looking at, this is a 55-inch, and this thing is huge. This is as big as I need for my room.
You need to get the 55.
And it's a ULED.
Nice.
And it's a ULED.
Them
what
good
I have
too.
here.
Them good too.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie though. K-Bum OLED had me mad for about 2 days because I had to come home and look at my TV. And I was trying to calibrate. Look, I'm in the house. My wife knew. She knew what I was doing. I was at the house trying to calibrate. Like, I gotta do these settings over, see if I got something wrong. She said, "What you said? What you in here doing?" I was like, "What you talking about? I'm just adjusting." And his TV done got you all worked up. Look at you. I was like, hush it up. No,
hey, to be honest, the new Samsungs have a variable refresh rate with the frame rate. They have variable frame rate, so they actually change. You can take it up to like I think 220 or something like that.
Yeah,
not 240. I thought the Samsungs, but
too much.
Yeah, but the quality, I don't do Samsungs anymore. But they're good for gaming. They're good for gaming.
Alan Steed, I like y'all gaming podcast. I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So,
5 minutes of it's been gaming.
Yeah, we been talking football and more TVs than anything. Okay, so let's get into this. I was telling, did you what you done? What you was talking about? I don't want to cut you off before you was done.
Yeah, I was done.
Okay, so I told y'all what I gamed on Horizon Turbo Chase. I think that's what it's called. And Astral Chain. Good game. I'm enjoying it. Kind of slowed down on it, but it ain't that I've not enjoyed it. I had to work on some music. I had to go up to K-Bum backyard last week, man, and do some little hippity hop. Don't stop the rockin' to the bang. I had to do that up there.
Hippity hop.
Yeah, so I had to do some little hippity hop. Anyway, and I'm showing my age when I say that. So, so let's get into these topics, and let's stick with.
I did. Hold on, man. Before we hop in these topics,
check this out, yo. D2K, check this out. I'm in K-Bum's backyard with a fellow friend of his. He's performing too, and he don't even come out and support your boy. Ain't this kind of nutso? I'm kind of offended. He didn't even come out.
I've done worse.
I'm
Go
just
ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
I've done worse. No, no, I'm just saying, man. It was something I didn't hear you say that you've been playing on, so I'm trying to find out what's going on. I did not hear.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not hear. Heard Horizon, but I heard the right Horizon.
I have been playing on Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't
Oh,
played
that ain't what I heard in this conversation.
Wait a minute. We said this week. I haven't played that none this week. I played Horizon Zero Dawn. I love the game. The game is dope. Actually, I think the game is better than Witcher. Be honest with you. I shouldn't. I'll just let me finish. I like Witcher 3.
Blasphemy.
And I don't like it. And I know that's great. And I'm early in, so I think I've been hyped up, and I'm expecting more than probably is going to give me right now. But Horizon Zero Dawn, to me, out the gate was hot. It was just dope. It brought you in from the gate. I think Witcher is a little slow burn to me. And I guess I gotta let the game open up a little bit more. So right now, I'm gonna say Horizon Zero Dawn has been more enjoyable for me than The Witcher 3.
Are you even looking at the animations? Good
Yes,
Lord.
you weren't here last week.
The conversation.
What did I say, D2K, last week about the animation?
Lord have mercy.
I don't like Witcher 3's character models. Like, they look horrible to me.
Whoa! Wait. The Witcher 3's character model?
I like.
Do you see the conversation, the way that people look when you have a conversation? That's what I'm talking about. The people like statues.
Look. Let me explain, K-Von.
Lord,
you get worked up. We only got about another
hour.
I'm
worked up.
We got another hour.
I ain't gonna make it.
This is my.
I ain't gonna make another hour. You keep talking about like this.
This is my issue with the Witcher. I think I played them too close to each other. This is my problem with Witcher 3. I think the stage and the environment looks immaculate. It looks amazing. Like I'm absolutely floored by the way the environment looked. But I'm not gonna lie, when I look at The Witcher, and to me they bodies look just a tad bit off far as how lean they are, and they facial. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know if I like it. And that was something. This is something I noticed even in watching videos of the game. I never really liked how the character body models look. Not their facial expression, because their facial expression is dead on. I'm saying the body model. Like, they look. I don't know, man. They look. You
don't like the character mesh of the character.
Yeah, I don't like how they look like they designed them to be real thin and kind of sometimes the arm length and it just look off to me a little bit, just a little bit. But that's a small critique. It's not ruining the game. And I think the other part is it's a little slow. It's a little slow kill for me right now. It's a little boring, but I'm still early. I just got through the training with the young girl, and she ran off, and I came out of that.
Oh, you dirt early.
Yeah, I came out of the little vision, the little flashback. We ride.
You still in the first area, the first little small area.
I told you I'm early.
That's not even. You won't even see that area again for the rest of the game.
Hey, Bob, didn't I just say I am early?
Oh. I heard you.
All right. Give me don't burn me down.
I heard you. So I played. So let me just say this, and then we can jump to what we're talking about.
This is my time.
I don't care about that. So I played Horizon before I played The Witcher.
Me too.
I understand. I played it. Actually, I played The Witcher first, and I stopped. And then I played Horizon pretty much almost to the end. And then I played The Witcher. And I was like, now I see how good The Witcher is. Horizon made me see how better The Witcher was by playing Horizon. So,
like I said, I'm going off of a small sample size, though. So this might change. I'm saying right now I got way
more. I
got way more of a sample size of Witcher 3. So I'm not saying of Horizon than I do of Witcher 3. So it really ain't a fair comparison. But the little bit that I played the Witcher 3, and if I compare what I played up to that point in Horizon, I would probably go back to Horizon. But I'm gonna give it some more time. That's what I'm saying. Listen to this dude, man. Anyway, go ahead. You had something to say, D2? For K-Bum cough me out off the podcast.
No.
Okay, so all right, now I want to stick with, since D2K kind of led us into a good place to pivot, because some of these other topics I feel like we ain't gonna spend as much time on them. So let's go ahead and go straight here, since we already talking about Gears 5 and he talking about the 4K and how beautiful it was. We all watched this week a video from Digital Foundry about the CRT? Is that the TV? The CRTs?
Yeah, CRTs.
Okay, and in watching the video, they were talking about how, well, I'll take my assessment of the video. They was talking about how the technology behind the CRT is still top-notch technology that, you know what I'm saying, with the frame rates really showed to be even more enjoyable than, I guess, higher resolutions. With them being able to take the frame rates up, they was using PCs, and being able to bump the frame rate up to 120 solid and stuff like that, it made the game, even in 720p, on a smaller screen. So we take that down. Because I know that's going to hit, I'm going to probably get ate up with the size of the screen. So I'm already prepared. But the thought was, are we going in the right direction with resolution versus frame rates? Should frame rate be the focus and not resolution? Meaning, should we be looking to go to 4K and still stuck at 30 and maybe 60? Or should we look at staying 1080p and getting up to 120 frame rate? And that was kind of what my thoughts was watching the video. And I had the thought that, is 4K gimmick with, when you look at the fact that frame rates can make the game look drastically better, or am I missing something? So I'm going to throw it at D2K first, because I know what K-Bum finna hit me with. So I want to hear what D2K say first, then K-Bum is yours, and we going to talk about it. Go ahead, D2K. Give me your thoughts on this.
Well, I guess we have to start with the understanding of, what it is that you're seeing on a CRT monitor. From a standpoint of frame rate, obviously a CRT is going to be superior in terms of frame rate, because CRT works completely differently on how, a LCD TV works or LED TV works in terms of refresh rate. So you're always going to have superb refresh rate on a CRT. That's the reason why a lot of fighting game communities still use CRTs. They can get their hands on them because there's no lag issues there. Whereas with the bigger TVs, the more lag that you have to get more expensive TVs to kind of minimize that lag, but you can never really get rid of it. You can minimize it, but you can't get rid of it. It's always still going to be there. It's really not a question of either or, because it all depends on the individual. It depends on how big your TV needs to be. Now, if your TV doesn't need to be any bigger than 32 inches, then you could probably find a 32-inch CRT somewhere and stick with that and be happy. But if you want 55, 60, 70, 80 inch screen TVs, then you can't do that. And that's the reason why you need 4K in order to retain that resolution at that size. And I think that you can have both. And I think that's what the whole next gen is about, is trying to minimize because right now there's a huge gap between 4K and playable frame rates.
Right. You
can get a beautiful picture at 4K resolution, but your frame rates are way down, and it's not as 30 or less, and it's not as enjoyable. So you have to bring it back down to 1080p just to get to 60 frames per second, which a lot of people are like, hey, I'm good with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that what should be going on is trying to find a way to give us a defined 60 frames per second 1080p baseline to where it can't get any. If it dips lower than that means you're doing something wrong. You have all the power that you need in order to hit that benchmark at the baseline. And then for companies that have the time and are allowed to actually make the games where they need to be made, they can have games that run at 60 frames per second at 4K, but those games may take a long time to develop. They might take 3, 4, 5, 6 years, but you'll get your solid 60 frames per second at 4K. And we should stick with that for the next 10 years or something like that. This whole idea is, well, we might be looking at 8K. Get out of here with that. We need to focus on 1080p and then 4K. And I think that, their argument that they had was kind of like a straw man argument, because they were basically saying, they weren't comparing apples to apples in that whole video that they were doing. They were comparing apples to oranges, and it wasn't really fair. They're two completely different types of technology, and you're not going to get CRTs that can match the resolution at that size. Because they don't make them anymore. So it's kind of a pointless conversation to even have, because you can't get a CRT that's 60 inches across. They don't exist. So, it's not about, I understand what they're trying to say, like, we should try to get the frame rates and not worry about the resolution, but they kind of go hand in hand. You can't really have one without the other. Because if you have, it doesn't matter if let's say you could do 8K, but if it's running at 10 frames per second, then what's the point?
Right.
So.
And I guess what I'm asking him, and I'm before K-Bum jump in, because I know he gonna have something to say. I guess my question is not so much what Digital Foundry was saying in their video. What I took from it was, and what formalized my thought was, should we be looking at, cause 4K is, I got a 4K TV. It's beautiful. I got a 4K 55 inch. It ain't K-Bum's OLED. I'm not gonna sit up here in front, but I got a decent TV. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoyed it until I saw his. I enjoyed mine until. So this dude turned them lights off and showed me what pure black was. And I've been trying to, it has not left my mind. So, I never forget that. He didn't know. I was like, brother, he didn't even know. He just made me, just hurt my feelings all in the seat. Like, thank you, K-Bun. Thank you for making me feel
no problem,
obsolete. Man. Anyway, so.
Anytime, man.
So, my question is, and I want to ask this. You don't have to answer this right now, K-Bun, because I want you to get your thoughts about the Digital Foundry video. But my question is for D2K right now, and then K-Bun, when you jump in, you can get into it after you get into what else you want to say. Should we stick with just, you kind of said it. They talking about, because the next thing going to be 8K. We know that's where they're going to, we need to improve and to get the visual we want, we need to jump to 8K. And I'm like, and we kind of talked about this before. We jump into 4K, but still stuck at 30 frames per second. K-Bum just said, I can't play a first-person Overwatch at 30 frames per second, but that's what we're looking at with the next gen. A lot of stuff going to probably be at 4K or reduced back down to 1080p 60 and bumped up to 4K. Should we be more or less focusing on 1080p and getting higher resolutions beyond 60? Frame rates beyond 60. I'm going to throw that at you, D2K. Give me your thoughts on that. Then I'm going to throw the whole conversation to K-Bum, and he can, dialect on how he want to hit it all, what I just asked. But asking you that question, do you think it'll be a wiser thing to forego 4K, the push with 4K? Not to not do it, but do you think it'll be more amazing if we had 1080p and a higher resolution than 60? Like if we could actually hit 1080p 120?
I don't know if it would be better. It depends on the game.
Okay.
it depends on what type of game you're playing. Like if you're playing a game like Slime Rancher, I can run that game at 4K 60 frames per second.
Okay.
But these are little colorful shapes that are floating around. Can't do that with Gears 5.
Right.
So 1080p 60 frames per second, what they should be striving to do is to make sure that the consoles, like I said before, that's the base. That every single game is at least doing that, and there's no dips in the frame rate at all. That's what they should be doing. In terms of, I don't think that, if you can have higher frame rates than that, but it's not solid 60 to where it doesn't dip below that, and a consistent frame rate. It's not jumping all over the place, because that could be disconcerting too while you're playing the game where the frame is going up and down, up and down, up and down. Mm-hmm. Just something that's locked into place, smooth 60, the whole game doesn't change from going from cutscene to gameplay. Doesn't matter. It's all a smooth 60. I think that's where the benchmark should be. And I think that's where we're going to be with the next gen systems, because those systems should be able to easily do that with what rumored is going to be in the PlayStation 5 and with the Scarlet, and what we know is going to be in Stadia.
Okay. All right. Because we know, I thought even Stadia talked about possibly getting up to 120, but let me let K-Ball get it. Go ahead.
Well, before that, I think that more than anything else, when we were talking about gimmicks, I think that is where the gimmicky stuff comes into play. Because, like I said, the human eye can only see so much. And when you start talking about 240, frames per second, I'm like, if you're really gonna just, I can't really see that. When I see games that are running like that, there's nothing different from seeing. As long as it's smooth, that's all that matters. If it doesn't have a wiggle or waver, that to me is more gimmick than 4K.
Okay. Because I'm be honest, I've never seen, at least I don't think I have, ever seen a game running at 120 frames per second. I was just going off of what Digital Foundry was saying with the CRT at 720p, they made it look that much better because they was able to shoot more frames in one image than, would be possible on an LED.
No, I was just playing NBA 2K12 like about an hour ago just to see what it looked like with this TV, and that was running at 120 frames per second, but it didn't look any different than 60 to me.
Okay, all right. That's K-Bum. What's your word?
You got to. We're gonna have to go back and to the original question if I can get that. Okay,
which was. Frank, what was the original? It's for, I said, go ahead. No, you know what I said. Go ahead. But just, Digital Foundry and stuff like that. Go ahead.
Like I just asked you, but it's cool.
So you did ask me. You asked me what the original question was. My bad.
No, it's all. I remember. Okay, so talking about Digital Foundry and what they found and with the CRT. So the thing with the CRT and what they and to D2K's point. What they did was they did spend a lot of time pointing out the benefits of the CRT, which is the refresh rate, which is the smaller screen, so on and so on. Right? Those are benefits from it, and without looking at the negatives, it makes the CRT looks like maybe it's a viable option. But there is a reason why we went away from CRTs and why we will probably never see them back. Yes, you do get that. But one thing when I was watching it that I had issues with the CRT was color. What you lose with the CRT is the color gambit that you get with a lot of the newer age TVs. I mean, if you don't care about that, then that's perfectly fine. But and you also lose the contrast ratio that you get with some of the nicer LEDs and stuff like that we've been able to improve on throughout the years. And so from a person who's a videophile like myself, I'm looking at this image of the screen like, well, there's a lot of issues I see here. I wouldn't want a game on that. Yes, it yes, you can push more power out, but just as let's looking at the quality of the CRT itself, yeah, I would rather have a LED monitor with 1 millisecond refresh rate and call it a day, than to 1 millisecond input lag and 120 refresh rate and call it a day. So I didn't really see, especially it being 200 pounds for a 24 incher. I have much those things weigh. So yeah, I saw what they were able to put on video file myself. I didn't really. I saw a lot of the negatives that comes with a CRT that I wouldn't want to utilize and go back to that kind of technology. Going back to the argument of the conversation of frame rate versus resolution, what should be happening is that we should have gotten what we were supposed to gotten last year, last generation. We're just now getting
last generation's promise, right,
which was 1080p 60. If we would have got that last generation, then we would be able to safely say 4K 60, and we wouldn't have to sacrifice. But we didn't get the promise the last generation. We're just not getting it now. And what we're not, one thing we're not saying is we're not getting real 4K. But that's one thing we're not really talking about. We're not getting true 4K. We're getting Pinocchio 4K.
Even
we're getting lied to.
On the Xbox One X, you're not getting
there are only a small number of games that are native 4K.
Okay.
Every Xbox X game is not giving you actual native 4K. Some of them are still being upscaled to 4K, or they're giving you the checkerboard 4K, or whatever lingo they want to say that's not real 4K.
What Sony was doing.
So let's and Xbox.
That's what I'm saying. You was talking about Xbox and basically what Sony was, because that's what I remember. The checkerboard.
Oh, Sony.
Yeah.
None of Sony stuff is real. All Sony stuff is. Oh, not now. They were doing it. They've been doing it. Like,
okay.
It were only the first party games really were giving you actual 4K, native 4K. If you went to the launch of Scarlet on Xbox X and you looked at which games were actually native 4K, it was a substantially smaller list than the games that were announced for it.
Right. Gotcha.
And so that's the thing I'm saying. That even with the more powerful system, which the Xbox X is a more powerful system, you still were getting first party games were giving you native 4K, and maybe a couple of third parties, but they were doing the checkerboard technology and everything else. So you're still not getting true 4K with 60. But that should be the benchmark for this year. And I agree with D2K. The whole 8K, stop it. Stop. Just give me 4K 60 and call it a day. I don't need 8K. I don't want 8K. I want a consistent frame rate, a good resolution, which is 4K is good enough right now at a and in the 60 frames per second, because we can perceive the difference between 30 and 60. But it's hard to perceive the difference after you get above 60. But you can definitely see the difference between 60 and 30.
Okay.
You can absolutely see it.
Yeah, you can. Now let me ask this, adding this on there, because D2K said something and I meant to bring that up. How much does the refresher rate, are we saying the same thing? Because you talking to a person that ain't extremely computer savvy when we talk about this type of stuff. So how much of a role does refresher rate play?
As far as gameplay, yeah, it plays it. There. So we talked about this a while ago. Level. We talked about the issue with crossplay on the Switch. Remember, we have the conversation about Fortnite.
Yeah.
And they were doing crossplay, and they had to turn crossplay off. You remember one of the reasons why they had to turn crossplay off? Because
I knew that.
Yes, there was issue between the 30 frame per second Switch and it's 60 frames per second. Everybody else, there were
Unfair
bullet issues, and hit detection issues because of the refresh rate. You've never heard stuff like that as far as resolution. You've never heard resolution mess with stuff like that, but frame rate does. It does have an impact. That's a reason why Mortal Kombat sacrificed all those graphics to give you 60 frames per second on the Switch. It was a reason for it. It had to be a bona fide fighter. It could not give you 30 frames per second and call itself a good fighter. And that's why Overwatch is receiving the backlash is receiving, is because they give you the first person shooter with 30 frames per second. It does have impact on gameplay.
I know that.
I can even
go ahead.
I can add to that. Halo Master Chief Collection. My friend has a 120 hertz refresh rate.
Okay.
I've gone over his house a couple of times and played Halo over there. He has like 2 TVs. He has one facing one way, one facing the other.
So dual monitor.
Dual monitor. So
Okay.
getting it handed to us, by not really that good. And we couldn't really understand why, because we're doing the same things we were doing before. When I play Halo at home, I'm giving people business, but when I play over there, I'm getting it handed back to me, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. And then it dawned on me, it actually has a deleterious effect.
You kind of went out, so we missed what you said right there.
What is last thing that you hear? What did you hear?
It dawned on me, and then that's when you cut out.
Yeah.
It dawned on me that the refresh rate of his TV was not matched up with everyone else's.
Oh,
it actually can have a deleterious effect the other way as well. It can hurt you going from 60.
Could you explain that word for me for the people in the back?
I was gonna skip over. Like I know what it means, how he used it, but I'm like that's a new one for me. Go ahead.
I filled in the blank what I thought it meant, but I just thought I'll ask.
I was sure thinking like that boy pulled one out on us, but I kind of know what he means, how he used it. I got you.
It basically means that it has it's bad. It's bad. That's what it means.
Okay.
It just means that it has a negative effect on it. But like you like deleterious. That's what I said. But like you said before, like how people who are playing at 30 frames per second, it actually works bad in the other way as well, with people who have a faster refresh rate against people who have a slower refresh rate, because things are not happening when you expect them to happen. Once you learn how to play a game, and once you get your muscle time, and when it doesn't happen that way, people who have that intact can have an advantage. And if you have a faster refresh rate from your TV, that actually can work against you in a game like a first-person shooter, or like a basketball game, or sports game, or anything that requires precision reflexes.
Okay.
Right.
So it has to be, everybody has to be on the same playing field in order for it to work, whether it's up or down.
Okay. Y'all I didn't see these little integral aspects that I didn't think about. Like, I never thought that the refresh rate could affect in a negative way. If it was higher, it can affect in a negative way. I don't know what the word you use, but I'm just going to say it in a negative way. As a preacher, I was like, I wish I could. I might look that one up. Might add that one to
the catalog.
Yeah, but
it has a deleterious effect on your life.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like, bro, I might have to look that one up and add that. But anyway, I didn't know that. So refresh rate, frame rate, resolution, the sweet spot. K-Bun, what would you say the sweet spot is? Would you say 4K is the sweet spot for for visuals and for resolution? What would you say all the sweet spots should be? Because some of these TVs got 60 frame refresh rate, some got 120, some got 240. Like, what would you say?
No, I don't.
So the sweet spot right now is 1080p 60. That's the sweet spot. 1080p 60.
No TVs have 240 refresh rates.
I know they don't, but they have put it on the box.
Eyes.
So also let me say this. Also, will we understand that most TVs aren't even doing 120.
Right.
Like, and I'm talking about. So one thing we're missing is a particular feature in most TVs called game mode.
Mm-hmm.
And most TVs aren't doing 120 in game mode. They're only doing 60.
Right.
I guess if games start going 120, then TV makers are going to start giving you 120 in with the refresh rate in game mode. But as it is right now, that's not even there. So you can't even really play certain games right now. You have to make sure you get a gaming monitor or a monitor to be able to do something like that, because a regular TV wouldn't give you that flexibility. So, but if I had to say sweet spot, I definitely would say 1080p 60. I think is the sweet spot for the masses. There are going to be some outliners that can do 4K, some outliners that can do 120, 30 frames per second. Definitely not a sweet spot. So I wouldn't say that, but you can definitely get more or less. But if you want to say the sweet spot for most gamers and most games that I think look good, that make it look good, I think 1080p 60 is good enough. That's a nice sweet spot. And then we can improve on top of that once we master that and then start moving up the ladder. That's my point of view. That's what I say.
Okay. Anything else y'all want to go on this topic? We can move on and hit some of these other ones real quick, because we let that really be the main. I knew that was gonna kind of be the main one we hit, so I wanted to hit that one early. So let's go on to this Stadia situation. So I guess Stadia has sold out of the pre-orders. Starting with you, D2K, are you shocked at this revelation, or was you expecting it?
I don't know if I was expecting it, but I'm not shocked.
Okay, go ahead.
Technology is something that's a lot of unknown there. But from the people that I haven't talked to anybody personally, but from I've heard that have actually gotten their hands on this thing, they say that it works. I mean, it's not perfect, and nothing ever is when it first comes out. Every new piece of technology has this.
You went out a little bit. I don't know if you noticed. Okay, you back. You popped out again, but go ahead. Finish your thought.
He said every piece of technology, you cut out on that piece.
Yeah, every piece of technology, has bugs and stuff that has to be worked out. After a while, they get into post. But for the most part, as long as it works and it's function, it does what they said it was going to do, then you have. There's a lot of promise with this. There's a lot that can go wrong, but I think that a lot of people are genuinely excited about it. And I don't think that this doesn't surprise me at all that it's sold out.
Okay, K-Bob.
It doesn't surprise me that it's sold out. But one thing we're missing here, when they say they sold out, what's the number? How many did we sell?
I think they talking about the Founders Editions.
I understand that.
Pre-ordered out, I guess.
But how many did we sell?
That I don't know.
And that's the piece that I can't say shocked or it did good if I don't know how many you're talking about.
You sound like the dude that was we ain't gonna go on that. Let me leave that alone. The dude that was cross-examining Trump's guy. You sound like the lawyer they had up there.
Paul, Giuliani.
I can't. No, not Trump's lawyer. The dude up there today. We talk out offline.
Oh, okay, that's good.
No,
yeah,
I don't
man.
know.
So
I don't know that number.
they're not saying what that number is. So yeah, I don't know to be. Should I be impressed? Shouldn't I be impressed? I don't know. I don't know the number.
Okay.
I'm happy that is almost sold out. I mean, I was contemplating on hopping on that and getting me some of that. Still may do that because if I do Stadia, I definitely would want the controller. I would want to use the system at its best to minimize all the issues and whatnot.
To be sold out, I can't see them having. I don't think they in million stage yet. I'd probably say about 200,000-300,000 available.
Yeah, definitely not a million, especially when you're giving out a controller that you just created, and then the Ultra thing. I don't believe that. I believe maybe 200,000, maybe at the most.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
And even then, I think that may be too high. I think you may only have like 50,000, 60,000, because you got to understand you got to mass produce that controller.
Yeah, I could see Google being able to get up to at least 100 or 2. I don't think them getting. I don't see no 500 or no million, but about 100, 200. I think we in a good, reasonable ballpark. I think 50 would be too low. Be honest with you, I don't think they'd be bragging about that.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. So no, I'm not surprised. I'm pretty happy. Like I said, it is new technology, and a lot of people do kind of want to hop on it. But just I hope it works like they say it does, and I hope it doesn't do what Google likes to do and just support it for a couple of years and be Google Hangout. So
all right,
that's what Keith said, but
that's
why you have the issues you have now, because Google didn't want to support Google Hangout. Well, I guess the people didn't want to support Google Hangout. let me say it like that.
What's going on with that? But he ain't lying. They don't support stuff for too long.
They don't.
Now that you frame it the way you framed it, I guess it's not as impressive as at first. I was kind of impressed. I was shocked, like, whoa, I thought everybody was hating on this thing. Now it's sold out. But then when you ask the question, well, how many, that do kind of tamper in and kind of rein in the hype levels. Like, well, 200,000 ain't saying a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I can't find any numbers. I've been looking online.
They ain't about to get no.
I can't find numbers.
That's stupid. They just want to be able to say sold out. They don't need you to know how many. Yep. They don't need to put it in context. They just need you to know something sold out. But you kind of deflated my hype on my excitement for it. I was like, oh, okay, let me be more realistic. I guess it might not be that big of an achievement. So,
and this is what I'm seeing here. It says of Europe, most of Europe, not worldwide. Maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Let me see. Let me open up one. I didn't see in Europe. I saw period. Stadia Founders Edition is almost sold out. So here's the Stadia Premier Edition. So it ain't really saying Europe. It's just saying they sold out. So
okay,
yeah, it says it's almost sold out across Europe, and North America isn't far behind.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Oh, so see, he says not far behind, which means it's not sold out in America. It's sold out in just Europe.
That was how many days ago was this one? This is 1 day ago. So some of these is
like
1 day ago, hours ago, and some are a day ago. So I don't know.
Like I said, I'm seeing just sold out in Europe. That's what I'm saying.
This is something that's been done a lot of times. A lot of people like fudge numbers and say that we sold out. It's like concerts or like certain, like even like wrestling. They say that, well, we sold out the Staples Center, but you only made 13,000 tickets available. It's a 20,000 seat arena. So really sell out, or did you just sold all the tickets you made available? So, and that's the same thing with polls. They say, 75% of the people believe this. Well, you asked 3 people. so 2 out of 3 people you asked agreed, and yeah, I guess you will get numbers like that. But that doesn't cover everybody. So, it does open up eyes that they will put that out there without any numbers to back it up. But somebody's going to find out eventually, so it can't be too bad. It has to be a substantial number, something that's at least decent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so let's move on from that. So, but even though we don't know the numbers, and we probably right in the ballpark about what it possibly is, that's still pretty cool for Google. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool for them. And you know what? As gamers, we should be welcoming of anybody that would want to add to what we enjoy as a side hobby. Some of us enjoy a little too much. We enjoy plastic just a tad bit too much. But for us, that's kind of balanced. This ain't a bad idea. It's not bad that the more that wants to jump in, the actually more, I would say, healthy the industry would be. And with people seeing that there's money to be made, that mean they are willing, to keep this thing going. So it's not a bad thing if you look at it from the right angles. Let's jump on this Death Stranding. So apparently there has been about an hour long gameplay. I don't know who here's seen it. I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot about it. Have you seen it, K-Bone?
I have not seen it.
D2, have you seen it?
That game is creepy. I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, okay. So I don't feel bad about talking about it, even though I haven't seen it. We've seen enough to be, I say, cause for concern because I know Kojima is supposed to be a genius when it comes to this type of stuff. And maybe the genius hasn't shown up yet and he's hiding a lot of the game. But from what we have seen, this game looks to be, I don't know, bro. I don't know what this game is. And to hear that I heard several different sources say this, to see an hour-long presentation of the game being played and to still not know what's going on, it's concerning. Like,
that's funny.
I seen the part where he was leaking. I don't know if y'all seen this. It's been so long. Some of the stuff came out when we was on our hiatus trying to figure this out, this transition out to this new platform. But I saw the footage where he kind of fell down the hill and was leaking. Then he was walking down. He's trying to run down the hill and he kind of like just, it was weird. And I don't know how to feel about this game. And I don't know if I'm wrong to already kind of be dismissive of this title and look at it like this ain't nothing I'm interested in and I don't care to. So I kind of wanted to open it up to get y'all opinion on it. Death Stranding got announced, about a year and a half, 2 years ago? I think it's about 2 years. We seen it at 2 E3s.
It's about 2 years ago.
And so that's 2 years. And none of us have a clue and what this game is. Let me ask you, do you think this will be a mid-gen game, meaning this is going to be a launch title for the PS5 as well as play on the PlayStation 4? D2.
Kojima has a hit.
I thought the game was coming
That was coming out this year?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's coming out this year. It's not coming out this year, is it? Is it? If it's coming out this year, then Kojima need to get his
snap, son. November 18th, son.
It's coming out this year?
November 18th, son.
This is a pass. I ain't getting it. Okay.
November 8th.
Wow.
So you're right. My fault. 8th.
So 8th. It is. So this is a PlayStation 4 game. I bet you they gonna push this game back.
It's gonna be on. I mean, it's gonna be on the PlayStation 5 as well, of course. I mean, all Microsoft and Sony are gonna have versions of their later titles on the new consoles. I mean, everybody does that.
Okay.
But I think that I don't even think that he knows what this game is.
I agree with you, D2. I agree.
I think that's what it is. I don't even think I don't think this game makes any sense, and I think that he may have done it that way on purpose. This movie has a Ridley Scott, Chris Nolan feel to it. It kind of reminds me of like Interstellar or Prometheus, where the movie is trying to be too smart for its own good and it ends up not making. And that's what this game feels like. It's like he's trying to be so cerebral and so deep, and it ends up not even making any sense. There's no connection to the characters. Just nothing that I'm trying to accomplish based on what I'm looking at. Because I'm watching the gameplay right now, and the stuff that he's doing does not make any sense. Why are you even doing this? What is the point of this?
Man, watch this game
creepy
come out and be game of the year and the most impressive game since Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, we might well brace ourselves for it. This game is going to be, just because it's so weird and strange, it's going to be considered great.
Exactly. And a lot of those people pay for people to say that. But some people just say, well, they do.
I'm being sarcastic, but you know I'm not lying, though.
They do. And then, of course, some people, just want to stand out in the crowd just because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I love this game. It's great. What's great about it? Gotta go. So,
now I'll stand up and say this because I'm probably the only person on this podcast that is probably, I'm probably the biggest fan of Kojima. What was that? I missed that.
I turned my mic.
No,
I did.
What did he say?
My refrigerator got a beep on it, so when they open it up,
like I said, I played all the Metal Gear Solid. Well, not all. Let me not say that because they got bad after a certain while. But I was a huge fan of the Metal Gear Solid series, and I played them the most. And I've definitely defended Kojima on the podcast several times, especially when he got that when Jeff Keighley was ooging and ogging.
Don't even bring his name up. It's such a hypocrite. Go ahead, man.
Anyway, when he was all in love with Kojima, I kind of. But with that being said, so the fact that I love the Metal Gear Solid series, I don't know what's going on here, man. I don't know what you're doing. And I want to make sure I said all that. I love Kojima. I do think he's brilliant. I've played the Metal Gear Solid games. They are amazing games. They were before their time. He was doing things in those games that no one was doing, and no one is even got close to doing. He was doing the intelligence in the game was by far better than anything of his time. And the craziness of the game had its place in that game. It definitely had the craziness in the game. But the fact that he had one board where when he did the thing with Psycho Mantis, where the way to beat him was something that you would never have thought to do, which was to put your controller into the second controller slot because the guy was reading your mind. Like, who thinks of that? That's amazing.
How would you?
I'm sorry, man.
That out?
That's what I'm saying though. That's next level thinking though. That's dope, man.
That. Like he told me,
that's dope, bro.
When we was arguing about, we was arguing. Well, I used to have a Nintendo 64 PlayStation arguing with my boy D Rick and Brandon John Brown. That's his name. D Rick and John Brown. And D Rick brought up the fact that it was one thing you had to put the controller in the second slot, so he couldn't think. And then another one, he was making your controller move and vibrate like another character, telekinesis or something he was doing. And
yeah, bro, it was dope, man.
Yeah,
that's next level type thinking though. And the fact he had another one where the guy was really old. His name was The End. And if you stop playing the game for a week or two, and then pick the game up, like when you got to the boss battle, you stop playing the game at the boss battle for a week or two, and then you booted the game back up. The guy would die because he was so old, and you wouldn't have to fight the boss battle.
If you just waited for a week or two.
Yeah, because the guy was he was so close to death. If you just waited for like a week or two and then you boot the game back up, he would just die of old age.
I never.
Who thinks of that,
That's the
man?
first one I heard. I haven't heard of that one.
Like that's what I mean. Like he's always been next level. And he's always been doing stuff that no one has been doing. But sometimes you can go M. Night Shyamalan. Sometimes
though.
you can go M. Night Shyamalan. I'm just saying, man. You can.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like
you can be too smart for your own good.
right. It's kind of like George Lucas.
Miyamoto do this sometimes. Go ahead.
I mean, as brilliant as the original Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi were, and how much lore they have, and the special places that they have in all of our hearts, then the prequels happened.
Rash.
So, you see the difference between what was pure genius, and it did have a lot to do with the fact that he only directed one of those movies, which was Star Wars. He didn't direct Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. He had two. He directed all three of the prequels, and we saw what happened. So even the greatest minds in history in film, once you let them have too much control and they get too big for their own britches and things start to fall apart.
Everything they doing is intelligent and smart.
It's gold.
Now, did Steven Spielberg direct the second three, or was that just Lucas on his own?
Steven Spielberg had nothing to do with any Star Wars movie.
I thought Steven
was there with him.
I thought he was on the original three.
Steven was there.
Was on the original three.
No, it was. George Lucas was the producer and director for Star Wars. He was the producer for Empire Strikes Back, and the director was a guy named Aaron Kirshner. I can't pronounce his last name.
It might be Indiana Jones. Then one of them he was
Indiana Jones. That's what you're thinking of.
Okay.
Indiana Jones.
And to add to what you were saying with the Genius K-Bum and D2K kind of echoed and went farther with it. Miyamoto did that with Wii Music. That's people need to look at. He did that with Wii Music and he did that with Star Fox.
Star Fox Zero, or look at Itagaki with Devil's Third.
Yeah. And I think Devil Third kind of got lost in when those type of games had clearly when that game finally hit the surface, that game was I think that game was like 3-4 years past when it was originally, maybe even longer than that, announced, because that was supposed to come out like, I think on a Dreamcast or PlayStation 2, if I'm not mistaken. But you're right. Like, he the original dude that made Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, which everybody talk about God of War and Bayonetta and all that. To me, ain't nothing touching Ninja Gaiden 2. Nothing. The original and 2 is some of the best choreographed fighting game ever to me. Like, if you play the game, everything else is second rate to those two titles. But we won't have that argument. We can have that another time. But yeah, I don't know what's going on.
We can have that argument. But whatever.
Look, God of War. now I'm not talking about God of War 4. I'm saying God of War 4. I don't. God of War 4 broke away from the traditional beat 'em up that was made popular with the original God of Wars, with Bayonetta, with Devil May Cry. To me, Ninja Gaiden was better than all those titles. 1 and 2 were. That's my, but that's my take. I ain't gonna say nobody had to agree with that, but to me, I feel like if you actually played Ninja Gaiden 2 and then jumped on God of War, and you'd be like, nah, give me that Ninja Gaiden. I really believe you would do that.
So I did play the one that was on the, I don't know, was that 2 or was that 1?
If it was on
I did play the one.
3,
Xbox. It was Xbox. I played the one that was on the Xbox.
The original, and that's 1. 2 is on
Yeah.
Xbox 360.
I always heard that one was better than the second one. That's what
I would say the original was better story wise, yes, but I think the mechanics, the fighting mechanics, 2 was way better. It was way more fluid. It was way better fighting tech. The technical aspects of how you fought and how he moved was better in 2 than 1. But 1, I think storyline was better.
Okay, because I played 1. I did play that on my Xbox. So
Look at him.
on my Xbox.
I don't know what's going on with Kojima and Death Stranding. I don't want to write it off as.
It looks bad. It looks bad. It looks
bad.
It looks bad,
bro. It looks bad.
It looks bad.
I'm getting Devil Third vibes from watching this video right now.
Okay. Yeah, it looks bad.
I mean, it's not the problem, not the physical problems like that game had, where people are floating through walls and stuff, but just the fact that nothing makes any sense at all.
Yeah, you should get some sense of what's going on, even though you might not know everything. You should know. The game should look at least fun and kind of interesting. The game don't even look interesting. So that's what makes me like, man, this don't even look interesting. And this is exclusive to the PlayStation, right? Is Sony funding this game?
I'm not sure.
If it's exclusive, then
yeah, I think they are, K-Bum, because I think when he left, I think this is off Sony money. So, man, boy, Kojima better come through. Sony gonna throw him and everything. They gonna do him like who was he with before? Konami. They gonna throw him out just like they gonna tie him up, tell him he can't talk. He better get this game right, man, because I'm pretty sure Sony. Looking at the game, Sony will put some money into this game. Because I think Sony is backing this financially. So Sony will put some money in this game. And I hope, because it look like Kojima wasting their money, man. I'm just going to be honest. It look like Kojima is actually wasting their money. But let's move on. We got 2 more topics. Platinum Games achieves a first. I don't know if y'all know this, but Astral Chain was the first time that a Platinum game actually showed up on the sales, top 10 in sales. It was number 1 on the eShop, and also it was like I can't remember what number, but it was in the top 10 for a while of sales, and it was a first for Platinum Games. That's amazing to me that Platinum Games hasn't had a game that broke into the top 10 before.
But it's kind of strange.
Yeah, that was kind of strange to me. I probably need to look up some more on this, but do you feel that Platinum Game gets the respect they deserve? Because they one of the best developing studios out there. I don't know why they don't get the respect. Do you feel like they get the respect they deserve? Coming to you, K-Bone.
From what I heard from them, yeah. I mean, I don't hear people trashing Platinum Games. I don't hear people saying that they're not a really good studio. I don't know if people are trying to put them on a pedestal higher than what they are, but I don't really hear bad things about Platinum. It's usually, I guess, people are not putting them top tier. I guess that's the kind of the argument. They're not
top tier, but they're not treated like top tier. I don't think.
I mean, I can't really weigh in because I don't play Platinum Games. I don't. None of them are my style of games. I don't play Japanese style games. I don't. I'm not really.
That might be.
I'm not a fan of them.
No. That's your right. Like I said, that might be what the issue is while they make great games, their games are not for everybody. Whereas EA, Ubisoft, Activision, I guess Take-Two or whoever, their games appeal to a more broader audience,
a wider audience.
Well, they actually did develop Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360.
I didn't like Metal Gear Rising. That was the one where that was it was a departure from the Metal Gear Solid series. It wasn't the sneak around Metal Gear Solid series. It was based off of writing, and it was kind of a hack and slash. It was a hack and slash, and I played that. I rented that game. I played it for about an hour and said "ew," and I took it back. It was a hack and slash for writing. I did not like.
Yeah, it was. It was a hack and slash. It was their answer. It was their Bayonetta, their Devils May Cry, with a.
It looked cool. It looked cool.
Ain't that the one where you can slash
yeah.
You can literally slash like 100 things like real fast? Like yeah.
That was him. It wasn't my cup of tea. Like I said, I don't play their games, man. They're not my cup of tea.
But they changing though. Like I know you don't. Okay, I'm with you.
So I'm looking at their history, right? Starting off with Mad World, jumping off on Bayonetta, didn't play that. That's
Beautiful Joe.
Vanquish, I didn't play that. That was still JRP.
Vanquish is good.
I don't care. Didn't play that. Tried to play Metal Gear Solid Rising. Didn't care for Wonderful 101. Don't play Bayonetta. Definitely not messing with the Legend of Korra. Beautiful Joe's not on here.
It's Capcom, but they made it.
Okay. I'm just looking at the games. It says games they develop on Wikipedia. Near again is a Japanese game. Didn't play it. Astral Chain, nope. I just Star Fox Zero, Star Fox Ground. I didn't. They're not my type of games.
What about the Transformers?
Excuse me, why am I playing a video game version of Transformers?
The Transformers Devastation was based off the G1 cartoon. They actually looked like G1
okay,
cartoons.
Yeah. I didn't play that. Yeah, I didn't play that one. Don't really care for those. Give me third person story, but I don't do the Japanese.
Now, did Scalebound interest you when you first started hearing about it?
Okay, let me get
this
right before you say that.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
The dude that works for Platinum Games made Beautiful Joe.
Okay.
Haido Kai. I can't say that brother's name. Kayima. You know the guy that blocks everybody on Twitter. I can't think of his name. But he made Beautiful Joe, who is also director, and I want to say he director and I think part founder of Platinum Games, but he was a former employee of Capcom. That's so yeah. It has ties to him, and he kind of helped start Platinum Games. So that's where Beautiful Joe comes in. Go ahead, D2. You were saying something before I interrupt you.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the same list, and a lot of these games are stuff that I wouldn't be necessarily interested in. I had the Wonderful 101 on the Wii U, and it was okay. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed playing it for a little while, and I kind of got tired of it. I thought it was a cool idea at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Bayonetta games are too demonic. I never got into that. Still.
Yeah, I get you. They made Devil May Cry, the original Devil May Cry. This dude is responsible for that one too.
I didn't like Devil May Cry.
No, I didn't either. Go ahead.
Star Fox Zero was an abomination to gaming everywhere. It was just yeah. And the rest of the stuff, I mean, I've heard of it before, but I just never really. I'm like, I'm not really into this. World of Demons, no, don't like that stuff. It's a really short list of games, actually. When you look at it here, I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about Vanquish. I never played it, but I've heard a lot of good.
I'm telling you, Vanquish.
It looked cool when I saw it, but
I think
I wasn't interested.
I think Platinum is suffering from what K-Bomb described. Is their games catered to a more of a Japanese aesthetic, and you got to be into those type of games. It doesn't appeal to a mass audience, and
they're a niche developer.
Niche. They have they trapped in it, but they make excellent. There you go, excellent.
Yeah.
Game.
Get it on out there.
Now,
They do. They do. It's like
now. Let
but
me say this.
I don't even watch anime though. That's why I'm not even interested.
But
like,
let me throw this out there.
Not my cup of tea.
I think they last two offerings would change your opinion about if you would like them. I agree with you. You probably wouldn't get into Bayonetta, but I do think you'll get into Nier Automata, and I do think you'll get into Astral Chain, because it's just I think.
But Nier Automata isn't that an RPG?
Nier Automata is no, it got RPG elements, but
it says action. It says action role playing.
Yeah,
hack and slash.
Yeah, that's a good description. But it ain't bad. It's like Bayonetta, but it's not like Bayonetta. And Astral Chain is even more of a departure from the typical platinum offering. And I think you'll get into Astral Chain. I think K-Bun will enjoy many elements of Astral Chain. But I can't prove that. But I think that's a game that you might be like, oh, I actually can get into this. It's just that much of a departure from just straight up and down hack 'em, slash 'em. It got investigation. You got to figure out what's going on. It's puzzles, and it ain't puzzles in like running around the stage. It's like detective work, asking questions and having to talk to this person, having to talk to that person, and piecing it all together. It's a departure. It got a little open worldness, even though it's linear. It still has a little open worldness to it. It departs from the actual linear storyline. It has other storylines that you can. It's different. And
does it have any familiar or similarities to like Shenmue, or like the Yakuza games, where where you have to basically do a lot of searching. Everything doesn't have an immediate answer. You got to talk to this person, this person.
No, I wouldn't go that far with it. I think even though you are talking to all these different people, it still plays into the information you need about the main story. Like you go help this person, and when you help that person, they give you, they tell you a little bit more information that you got to add to figure out what's going on here that always pertains to the actual main story. So it's still linear, but so no, I wouldn't go that far with it. I wouldn't say no, I don't think that's a good.
It's not that complex.
It's not that complex. This game is very simple, but it's different enough to where it gives you a break from just running stage to stage, hack 'em, slash 'em. It ain't Bayonetta. It ain't hack slash storyline cut. Oh, okay. Then hack slash. It ain't that. It's totally different, and it's unique. It's a unique title, and I ain't saying, hey, dude, you need to order it on your game fly or anything like that. But hey, dude, you might need to order it on your game fly. You know what I'm saying? Send that. I don't know what you got that you might not be sending, but I would at least try it out if I was you.
Marvel game.
Send that Marvel back and try that Death Stranding. I mean, not the Death Stranding, but that the Astral Chain. But we can move on, or you can get that link. Where we finna go to now? All right. We don't have to talk about
what game?
You gonna get that link some way, Kenny?
Who? I'll tell you a game that I want to play. That I'm gonna have to play. Is that the game about it wasn't mental illness, but the one about
Hell.
Yes.
Hellblade. Hell. What is that game?
Yes, that one. I got to play that one. It's not. Yeah, that one looks like super dope.
You getting it on
just
Switch?
Like it's just.
You getting it on Switch? Huh? Did you get on it? You getting it on Switch? Hey. Go ahead, man. Get on your PlayStation.
Man, if you don't get on go to the next topic, man.
Zelda, this is the last topic. But I want to.
Why would I play a game that looks that beautiful and get it on the Switch? Why would I do that to myself? Why would I do that to myself?
You can play on the go though. You can play it on the
Where
go.
am I going?
Take it to
I'm
work.
a grown
man.
man. Where am I going? Take it to work.
Kick your
on a break.
Up. Kick your kickstand out. Sit back in your cubicle.
That's what I got games on my phone for. I'm not taking my game system.
Sure you got an office now. They come in and see K-Bum on.
I can game my PlayStation while I'm at work, and I will.
Oh, look at him. Hey, anyway, I'm gonna table this topic on Link Awakening because me and Keith was having a good conversation, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be transparent. Anything before the N64 that had Zelda in it, I am not familiar with it. I never played this. I played them, but I didn't play them, if that makes sense. I played a Zelda game before Ocarina of Time, but never got into them enough to really play them. Like I rented them, didn't like it, took it back, especially the side scroll when you kind of walking through and you finally get outside the castle. I think Zelda is lying dead on. I don't know if you know that one, but this is my first time ever playing. Will be my first time ever playing Link's Awakening. I'm also playing for the first time Zelda on the Super NES. Yes, folks, I wasn't into it like that. I was playing Capcom and Nintendo first party titles wasn't my deal on the Super NES. I didn't really get into Nintendo first party titles until the N64. Everything up to that, it wasn't all Nintendo. Mario, yeah, I played Mario, but Metroid, I knew about that. But as far as being a Nintendo head, I wasn't until the N64. I like when I ain't had no choice. It was only first party titles that I could play. I've never played a Zelda game pre N64, and I played none of the handheld versions. So everything after N64 pertaining to Zelda, I have played.
I think a lot of people jumped on board with Ocarina of Time. You're not the only one.
Okay, I mean, I just want to put it out there, man. Because people be like blasphemy. You call yourself a Nintendo fan? Yeah, I didn't play. I didn't. So I'm looking forward to this game. This will be a first. Like the Super NES one is good. I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. So I've been playing it, and I look forward to tomorrow to get this game. And we're gonna have to talk about what y'all favorite Zelda game was, and get y'all opinion. Those who have actually played Zelda games outside of Breath of the Wild.
No, don't do that, man. Just say, have you played Zelda games? Don't do
that. All right, so
don't do that.
I can't really have this topic.
Be better, man. Be better.
But if you're getting Link's Awakening tomorrow, put it down in the comment section. Let me know. I plan on picking it up tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to slow up. I think the next game I'm probably gonna get after this one is Luigi's Mansion, and I think I'm done for the year. I might get my son a Gears of War 5 for Christmas or something like that. But
10:30 p.m.
Oh, shut up. But yeah, I think I have to bow out with these games, but I'm not trying to lose peace with my wife. This is getting a little too expensive. So. Okay, but I'm gonna have to get that game fly, man. I'm gonna have to do what you and John Shaw was talking about.
We've been at that. That's what we do. Feed all our gaming habits.
Yeah. So if you don't want to play that Avengers, not Avengers, but that Marvel Alliance, go and send it my way, man, for a week. They ain't got to know. I'll get it back to you.
I don't know about that.
Look at him. Send it back, man. Get that Astro Chain, man. Or get that Gears 5 so we can get your opinion on it. You still got your Xbox.
I already said, man, if I get Gears 5, I'm going to do the Game Pass.
Man, go and get that
I'm
game.
probably get the game. But I told you, man, I can't do that because I'm grinding on the 2K right now. So I don't have. I'm still grinding. I'm still
enjoying it though. Why grind if you ain't enjoying it?
Because it's one of those games where you got to get your character to a certain level before you can start enjoying it.
Forget all that.
You got to get to a certain overall. You can't be out there with no bums, no level heads out there. Then you're gonna have some fun.
Call me one. I don't care. I was on there
So
trying to hang with y'all, man, talking trash. Put that Street
it
Fighters
gets
on.
real.
We'll see who's gonna be the
real.
bum then. Put that Street Fighters on. Mr. PlayStation 5, 4 don't have Street Fighters.
I never was a fan of Street Fighter, man. Never.
You wasn't no good. That's why you wasn't a fan. You wasn't no good.
I don't like Street Fighter. I like projectiles. I mean, I don't like projectiles. Never have. Like hand to hand. That's why we do Tekken.
But anyway, so that is the cast, man. Probably caught a lot of you guys off guard tonight because we normally be doing this on Sunday, but I won't be able to do Sunday. I got a lot of church anniversaries to attend. I'm going to have to let Jedi know that we won't be able to do this Sunday. We should be good for next Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're good for next Sunday, but I wasn't going to be able to do this one. I had to go to one of my family members' appreciation. I had one last week. Just been busy, man. But we will see y'all probably next Sunday, and hopefully the whole crew is here, including Jedi and Mr. Norris. Any final words, K-Bun, before we get out of here? D2K?
Final words. Kojima is a genius, man. Who's probably making a terrible game.
Probably. I think it's
still
consensus.
Nah, man. Horrible, man. You don't know Kojima yet, Dan. You don't know Kojima.
I said he mess around and it be the best game of the year. People
you said. That's why I said maybe
because it's strange. It's gonna win because it's so out the box.
Nah. He'll win because it's actually good, but I have doubts about this game. This is kind of the first game. Well, this and the last Metal Gear Solid were the only two games I ever had doubts about him.
When you had the doubts about the last Metal Gear Solid, did it turn out to be okay?
Yeah. People like it. I did not. That's the only Metal Gear Solid game that came out on a major platform that I did not play. The only one.
Not the one that he didn't have nothing to do with. You're not talking about that one, are you?
Oh, no, I'm talking about 5.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
I know when he made that movie on PlayStation 3. That was basically.
And I love Metal Gear Solid 4. I love that game. I watched the entire cutscene, all 45 minutes of it. Loved it. Loved it.
Okay.
The thing is that was his audience, man. You understand that? That was his audience.
I'm not a Kojima fan, but I've dealt with Miyamoto, so I know when people.
I sat down, I put my joystick down, and I watched it. I've been playing that game for 10, 15 years, and that was the finish of it. Yeah, heck yeah, I watched the cutscenes. Every last one of them.
Watched the cutscenes. Did you wake up?
Never click continue. No, I was all into it. Got my popcorn, everything.
Okay, D2, any final words before we get out of here?
Well, I'm kind of cautiously optimistic, but I'm very interested to see this Joker movie that's coming.
Yeah, I've been hearing. I've heard about that. It's good. I heard it's good, but I'm scared that they gas.
But those same critics said Last Jedi was good too. So
that's what
just
I'm saying.
put that on
I'm
you.
scared they gassing me up because of who the actor is and the fact that it is a departure from the tradition. It's artsy fartsy, and I'm kind of scared that the artsy fartsy stuff is gonna make this movie stupid. And I don't know, because I ain't a big fan. I like the actor. It just depends on what he's playing in. Because sometimes he's one
of my favorites.
Yeah,
ever since Gladiator.
I will say this is that him and Heath Ledger was like road dogs.
Okay.
So I think he's publicly stated it. He said that this role will honor his Joker. He's made consciously aware that he was not going to do anything that would
Keith Ledger like.
Yeah, he's not going to try to be him, but he's going to make a performance that's worthy of him, following him.
Okay.
And I think that this is the direction that DC needs to go. I think that had they stuck with the serious tone that Chris Nolan brought into it with the Batman or Dark Knight movies, they probably would be okay right now. And maybe this is them trying to get back to that, get away from the comic booky type style the way Marvel was doing it, and get back to the more serious thriller,
More
mystery,
realistic approach.
to it. Because that's why I'm hearing about the Batman movie as well. Is that it's going to be more of a mystery? He's going to be more of a detective in that movie rather than just a butt fighter. So this might be a turning point for DC. This movie might actually be a tipping point for that.
I hope
want to
so.
see
I
it,
don't.
but I don't want to see it. I know that's crazy. I want to, and I don't at the same time. Like, man, I'm scared. I'm gonna go in, and it ain't gonna meet my expectation. I'm gonna walk out disappointed. Cause this ain't the type of movie I go to the theater and see. This is an at home movie for me. I don't know if that make any sense to y'all.
I just don't. I just know I don't need to see the origin of Joker. That's how I feel about it. But that's different. That's a different conversation.
From what I understand, they are telling the origin, but they still, from what I'm understanding, it's still mysterious.
Okay.
It's still mystery around, even though they showing you things.
It's still ambiguous about how it is.
It's like it leaves
Okay,
you
cool.
kind of asking even more. He's still asking questions, so
Cool.
I'm not for sure. But I think I'm just gonna wait till this hit on DVD, man, and watch it then. I don't think I can go to the theater and see this. I don't think I can. I need to be at home and analyze this a few times. Anything else?
Nope.
Are we done?
I'm
Okay,
good.
well, this was the Live and Level Gamer Podcast. This was episode 189. I know the number on there is showing last week for whatever reason. I got to figure that out. But hope that y'all enjoyed. We will see y'all in not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. To then, deuces.